Hey guys, we're on the UT campus right now. We're going to be walking around interviewing students. We're going to be asking different students different questions. Let's get to the video, man. So I'm Omar and I'm here with,
I'm Gianna.
and today we're asking Gianna different questions about her college experience. So first of all, what's your major?
So I'm an RTF major, so that's a film major.
And what grade are you in?
Freshman.
And what are your initial thoughts on UT?
Well, it's my dream school, so I'm really excited to be here. All the programs are really good, so I love it. Yeah.
So as a film major, what jobs can you expect to get?
You can really do anything, honestly. Just kind of network with students that are working on films, and you can just go from there. Kind of build your portfolio up from there. So, and there's a lot of clubs here at UC that like accommodate for like filmmakers and everything. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
So what is like the average salary for someone who's a film major?
probably not a lot. It really depends on the job. I don't really know. There's not really like a salary like that I can really say. It really depends on like what your role is on a film set
Uh-huh.
and like how much you work on a film set. So I don't really know. Probably like, average like, 50K a year, maybe. That's like pushing it. I feel
That's
like.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's career growth after that.
Oh yeah. The film major or like film in general is just about knowing people. So if you know somebody that is working on a big set, you get on as like a production assistant, like you can still make good money from that, and then you just kind of go from there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for the interview.
Thank
you so much.
you.
Okay, so I'm Omar and I'm here with
Tyler.
Tyler. What major are you?
I'm a psychology major.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
So how do you like UT?
I love it. I've always wanted to go here. I like that Austin is a weird city.
Do you like the Muslims in Weird
Yeah.
City? So as a psychology major, what jobs can you get with that major?
You can actually kind of get any job with it. I want to do child psychology and be like a child therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go into law, you can go into business, you can do anything with it really.
So for the people that don't know, what is a child therapist?
It's a therapist for children.
To help them with like academic, school, maybe if
just
they have
kind
trouble
of-
at home.
Yeah, more like that.
Like
Just
trauma?
kind of anything, trauma stuff a lot.
Yeah,
It's kind of good to catch things young if you can.
absolutely.
And then also with that, just doing research stuff. I want to write like research papers.
And for a child therapist, what is the mean average income?
Make your own, so it kind of depends. So I would say probably on average like 60K.
60K. And then
60,
after
70?
that, what is like the progression?
I don't know yet. So I'm still working on that. I'm still working on finding that
That
out.
makes sense. That makes sense. To get like a psychology job, do you have to get internships? Do you have to build a resume from early on, or like what?
It
What do
kind
you
of
kinda have to
depends
go
what you
through?
want to do. I want to go to like grad school, so I do need to do all of those things, but not always.
Not always. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
So for the people watching, would you recommend being a psychology major?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Thank you so much. So I'm Omar, and I'm here with.
Marcos.
So Marcos, what grade are you in?
I'm currently a sophomore.
What major are you?
I major in finance.
So as a finance major, what different career paths are you looking to pursue?
As of right now, I'm leaning more towards like becoming like a financial analyst. Just yeah, right now that's where I'm at just because of the work-life balance and also like it's a competitive pay as well.
You're not looking into like investment banking, consulting, private equity. Does that stuff kind of interest you as well?
Not really. Like before, I know they're more glamorous, I will say. Like when you think of finance, you think of like Wall Street, you think of like investment banking. But just something I feel like I value a lot is like work-life balance. And typically with like those careers, like the work-life balance isn't necessarily where I want it to be. So I found the work-life balance in becoming like a financial analyst. So that's why I'm leaning more towards that.
It's like 100 hours a week, 15 hours a day, right?
That sounds like investment banking right there.
Yeah.
It's not something I want to do.
So as a financial analyst, like what is the average salary that someone could expect?
I'll say around like 60 to like 90,000. I'll say starting off. That's like roughly like just with my research I found.
And like after like projected, let's say like 10 years into the field, like 10
Mhm.
years of experience, how much would someone be making? Like what's the growth I could
Mhm.
ask?
That's something I'm not too familiar with. I know, of course, like something that's very traditional is just going up the ladder within
Uh-huh.
like a corporation. So like I know ultimately becoming like a CFO, like chief financial officer,
Oh,
that'd be
wow.
like the ultimate goal like within a company. But at least specific. I mean, it just depends. I think with the company, like with how they do promotions and whatnot.
And for the people watching right now, would you recommend that they major in finance?
I'd recommend it. I mean, just finance. I mean, you have a lot of options. Like, if you really want to make like the big bucks, like you can. But then, like, also if you really do value the work-life balance and like you still want to make like a decent amount, like, I mean, it has that as well. And of course, I feel like just with finance careers and jobs, like it's always going to be competitive and like there's always going to be something for you to do
Well, thank you so much, Marcos, for doing the interview today.
for sure.
For the people watching, maybe you can major in finance too. So now we're at the biggest library on the UT campus. We're gonna keep doing the interviews. So without further ado, let's keep the video moving. So, as an economics major, how much money can you expect to make out of college?
Just as an economics major, I think it's like closer to like maybe 60, 70. But I'm planning to go to law school after.
Oh, wow.
I don't really care about that right now.
What do you plan on studying in law school?
Probably something like corporate law or something. I haven't like figured that out yet. It's like a long time away. But I definitely want to like go to law school.
And that's where the big money is,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So, corporate lawyer, how much can people expect to make out of that?
so big law firms. They're usually like a lot more. But you have to like start small. So I think like upwards of 100K. I think you can do if you like get a good law firm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just corporate. I don't really know much, but I know like if you go like public defender or like some other like public kind of job, it's like a lot less. So that's why I'm like trying to do something not public, go in the corporate world.
So, for the people watching right now, would you recommend they do economics?
No, because if you're going like somewhere else after your undergrad, it doesn't really make sense a lot because like it's harder, especially for law. But I like economics. I just like it, so that's why I'm doing it. But it's definitely harder. You could do like a easier major and then go to law school. But it's just more interesting to me, so that's why I'm doing it.
Well, thank you so much, Cheyenne. I don't want to take up too much.
Probably around 300K is the average once you get going. But that's probably about 20 years from now
And
after school.
do you plan on taking loans, or are you currently in student debt?
I am not currently in student debt. I'm from Colorado, but I got in-state tuition and I have scholarships.
And same for medical school?
For medical school, I will definitely have to go into student debt.
And like, how long until you plan on paying that off
I
after
wanna-
becoming a doctor?
Ideally, it'd be 5 to 10 years. Hopefully more closer to 5, but I think the average in paying off student loan debt is about $250,000 for med school, and the average is like 5 to 8 years. So kind of depends on what I get out of it.
So for the people watching right now, would you recommend that they become a neurologist?
So far, I really like my classes and I like shadowing. So yes, I feel like it's definitely possible to pay off student loans with the income you make after it. So I feel like it's worth it.
Okay, thank you so much, Mia. So I'm Omar and I'm here with
Joaquin Salas?
Hey Joaquin, do you work here?
Yeah, I do.
So why did you choose to work at a food truck?
I chose to work at a food truck just because it was like super available and close by to where I live. And plus like the hours are not strict. I don't gotta be here for like too long. And it's like an easy job.
So is this how you pay for school?
Not really. I think school is mostly through scholarships, but if anything, it's how to pay for my living, like utilities, groceries, bills, all that.
And for the people watching, would you recommend they work at a food truck?
I think you just gotta look for it. I think a food truck is a good spot to work at if like you want like a first time experience. But like I'm just saying, it just depends on like the employer. You could get like bad pay or bad hours for a food truck. Thankfully, right now it's good for me, but like just depends on where you work.
So we don't have to get into the specifics, but you could give us like a general range. Like what can people expect to make working at a food truck?
Like I said, it just depends. Right now, I'm making like 12 an hour, but I know like there's a food truck out here in this park that makes like 16 an hour, and it all just depends on the employer. But I feel like you can make like 10 to like 15 on average.
And for the people watching, we're at an ice cream food truck. So what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite ice cream flavor, it's kind of a controversial pick, but it's mint chocolate chip.
Hell no! Hell no! All right, Joaquin. Thank you
Alright.
so much, man.
Of course.